What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News. And, just got my cardio in today. You know, it's cleanse week, so I got to do what I got to do to stay in shape. So, that explains the sweat. Anyway, I want to talk to you about, I want to do a recap on the incident that went down. I know I've covered it before, but I want to go more in depth with the Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua. You know, if you haven't checked out that video, check it out. But this question is to discuss, is Jarrell Miller still in Deontay Wilder's thunder? You know, I heard one of my subscribers, you know, he came up with a really good question. You know, it's like, why isn't Deontay Wilder doing this? That's our American champion. You know what I mean? Why isn't he, if he knows that Anthony Joshua is in New York, and he knew that Eddie Hearn is promoting the D-Zone app, and he knew where he was going to be, why wasn't he there? You know what I mean? All he had to do was take a flight up to New York and be there. You know what I mean? And that would have made more buzz, because until this day, I don't think that these guys have ever met face-to-face. I don't think Joshua has ever met Deontay Wilder. Now, there was a time when Deontay Wilder was invited to be a commentator at Joshua and Parker's fight. He was supposed to have been there, and he didn't go. And that was another question. You know, it just made me scratch my head on it. Like, why wasn't you in England? And then why weren't you there for Anthony Joshua? You know, the only thing that I can come up with would be maybe, you know, he don't want to look like the desperate fighter. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to look like the guy that's chasing Joshua. But I think you should do that if you want the fight. Don't let someone like Jarrell Miller come in and steal your thunder, because at the end of the day, that would be an easier fight to make. And you don't want, and no one wants, I don't think any fight fans would want Jarrell Miller replacing or being fielded in that April date at Wembley. You know, we want that to be Deontay Wilder. We don't want that to be Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? Because that only pushes the fight farther and farther. Then, you know, all the Wilder fans will say, see, I told you he was ducking. But it's like, I don't see that the fight is really trying to get made on that end. You know, because he should have been there in the UK, and he should have been there at the zone introduction, you know, with the other fighters there. He should have been there like, hey, I'm here. Come face to face. That shouldn't have been Jarrell Miller. That should have been that should have been Deontay Wilder. You know, and they should have went face to face, and they should have had words. And then we knew for a fact that wasn't staged. You know what I mean? See, we don't know if that was staged or not, or planned or whatever, you know, or rehearsed. But we could know if Deontay Wilder was there. Deontay Wilder you knew Deontay Wilder has nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. So you knew that wouldn't have been staged. Deontay Wilder showed up to say, hey, I'm here. I'm the American champ. You come into my country, and you are introducing an app, you and your promoter, and then we are in negotiations to having a fight. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a bigger impact, you know? Because, again, if you compare that to Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather, those guys didn't really start real negotiations or successful negotiations until they met at a basketball game. You know what I mean? And Joshua was at a basketball game. You know, and I guess Deontay Wilder don't want to chase him. You know what I mean? I don't think he wants, you know, he's probably thinking, you know, he's having some pride or integrity behind it, saying, well, you know what, I don't think I need to chase him all around the country. He knows where to find me, yada, yada, yada. You know, but I'm like this. If you're going to go to social media and you're going to say, hey, you're a pussy, you're a coward, you this, you that, I would like to see him say that in his face. Then we knew for a fact there would be no bitch in Deontay Wilder, and his, his intentions are real. You know what I mean? And I would have liked to see that. That would have been something that would have blew up every boxing channel, including this one, that you could possibly, you would have looked up boxing moves. That was the first thing to hit the headlines. Deontay Wilder confronts Anthony Joshua. That would be something worth seeing, because then we have two people that supposedly are in potential negotiations for fighting, and they've seen each other for the first time, and we've seen how that interaction went. Is that too much to ask? You know what I mean? So, all you Wilder fans, tell Deontay Wilder, tell the champion of the United States, tell the U.S. champion to start making appearances like that. Because we've known again and again, I keep making more comparisons. You look at the Lara Canelo fight. That fight happened. You know, fights happen. You know, Jarrell Miller's just hungry, and he's showing he's hungry. Why isn't Deontay Wilder showing this? That's my only question. So, any Wilder fan, and I know you guys will tell me why he hasn't done that, because I want to know your perspective. I want to know, you know, what you guys think about this particular video. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.